2003, I suppose, Surrey Chauffeurs as a business started. So I quickly realised I didn't want to be a taxi company per se. I really wanted to target the corporate and business market, and having done all the taxi stuff and all the trunks and the pubs and the bars and the clubs, I really didn't want to do that kind of thing. So we really sort of set out to target the corporate and business market, and that was an area locally that wasn't being serviced effectively. So there was a lot of taxi companies that had corporate clients, but they were still ultimately a taxi service. Our turnover was between 500,000 and 600,000 a year. We had about a dozen drivers, full-time drivers that were busy all the time. We were running the office full-time, so it was a pretty significant business at that point. It was full-time as in 24/7, and it was becoming very difficult to manage, very tiring. It was taking up weekends, evenings. It was a real struggle. So it was at that point I thought, do you know what, I need to change this. I suppose at that point we thought we need to get someone in. We need to get maybe someone to do the evenings, but we didn't really have the investment or the know-how to do that. So I guess a degree of naivety, I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to sell. I suppose I was very blinkered at that point, and all I was seeing was the fact that this guy's coming in, loads of money, I can sell the business and we can grow it bigger. And that was kind of the beginning of the end of Surrey Chauffeurs, really, which was a shame, which was a real shame. I sold the business for pittance, really. And staying with the business was a big mistake. I should have sold the business for as much as I could and walked away, or just not sold it and got someone to put money in, but carried on running the business. The mistake I made was basically relinquishing the entire business, which, yeah, was a big mistake, big mistake. It started from about, third or fourth month, but very quickly got out of hand to the extent where I actually had a stroke because of the stress involved. And I look back now and I think there was only really 4 of us that were at that point within the business, and the new owner was bringing on people that were completely unrelated to our industry, didn't know what they were doing, but obviously felt that they could add value to the business, and all they did was just break it up even more. And as I say, it got to a stage where it just got so stressful. I had a stroke and was out of the business for about a month, 2 months, and it was only after returning that I kind of put things in perspective and thought, I can't sit here and watch this happen, and I can't sit here and see my clients that we'd worked hard to bring on board and develop, and watch it all fall apart, basically. And I thought, I just don't want to be part of this anymore. Unless you're one of the big boys like TriStar, Addison Lee, where they're going to make a huge acquisition, and as the owner or MD of that business, you're going to go onto their board of directors. It's a completely different structure, which was one of the problems with when Surrey Chauffeurs were acquired. The new management tried to put the big company structure on a small company. At the end of the day, we were still a small company, and it just doesn't work. And if you are a smaller company and you sell, walk away. It's as simple as that. Get enough that you can not have to worry about things for a little while, and just walk away, unless you are committed to staying on board and you're willing to accept the limitations that go with that, and you're willing to accept basically being told what to do by strangers after being on your own for a while, then go ahead. But if I was to do it again, that's what I would do. I'd just walk away. Obviously there was contractual restrictions that I had to abide by, so I couldn't really do anything for quite a while, which in itself was then financially difficult. So that was a really tough time as well. But once they had expired, in effect, I was free to do what I wanted. And I'd been getting calls from drivers and some of the PAs that we used to deal with that had my own number, just saying, look, what's going on, and are you going to set up again? And I love this industry. I love doing what we do, and seem to have a knack for it, and we seem to know what we're doing, and so we then decided, well, why not? Let's set up again and start again, learn from the mistakes that were made, build something better, and that's how EA Chauffeurs started. So by that time, Amanda, who was with Surrey Chauffeurs, had left the other company quite some time prior to that. So she was around, so I got in contact with her again, and together we set up EA Chauffeurs. Over the last year, we've developed quite a nice little business now. It's a small operation, which suits us down to the ground. We've got a nice little office here. We've got a fantastic core of drivers. I suppose we've got about 8 drivers now, full time. Really, really good bunch of drivers, reliable, professional. They can annoy us sometimes, but ultimately the clients, really feel comfortable with them. And we were very lucky to have some of the clients actually came back after all that time, heard that we'd set up again. As I say, some of them had my personal mobile number and actually came back to us, which was really, really quite humbling. It isn't so much a 24/7 service now. Generally, the last bookings are generally sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, we have a few 4 a.m.s and 5 a.m.s, but they're quite easy to manage. The volume of work over the weekends is enough that it can be managed quite easily, and if it does grow any more than that, then we'll deal with it as we go along. But as I say, we learned a lot of lessons and positive lessons that I can now implement with the new business, and it seems to be working well. And we were awarded Best New Chauffeur Company at last year's QSI Awards, which was fantastic. It was like a real indictment to everything we'd gone through, all the hard work that we'd done to build up the new business, and all the sacrifices we'd made. And it was really nice because we got a lot of support from the industry as well, from the guys that organise it, and it was really nice, really, really nice. And that's brought us around to where we are now.